Hi, welcome to Minot Automotive Center. My name is John McLemore. I'm the multimedia manager here, and basically my job is simple. It's to take care of anything revolving around technology. Well, we have just one of those types of videos today. It's a technology video. We just recently resurrected our remote start department here, and what we're going to do today is we're going to take you on a how-to journey with how to operate and use our remote starts. Now, we're going to be using this beautiful little Ram 1500 here to demonstrate for us all the commands that he's capable of performing with this remote. Now, you may be asking yourself, what's the biggest difference between a one-way and a two-way? The big difference is a one-way sends a signal directly from your remote to your vehicle, and that's it. The two-way will send a signal from your remote to your vehicle, and then back from your vehicle to your remote, and visually and audibly tell you that it has performed whatever function you told it to. Both the one-way and the two-way do have up to a mile range, so it's a pretty good range for you to be able to operate these remotes. So let's just get right into it and talk a little bit about this remote. Now, this remote is a little bit different than the one-way. The one-way only has four solid remotes, or four solid buttons here, and it doesn't give you anything besides the two little flashing lights. This, you can actually see that there is a car here. We'll show you this a little bit closer up in a second here, but it has a car here, and it has some time and things like that. And you know, it gives you a visually kind of like a little LCD screen in your hand here. And right here on the side, we have our four buttons. The exact same four buttons that are on our one-way start. The top button up here is the lock button. The middle button, or the second button, is the unlock button. Then we have the trunk button, and then we have the start button. It looks like a key. So what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate what each one of these does, and then we're going to get a closer view of what each one of these does. So to lock your vehicle, easiest thing in the world, just press and hold this first top button. Press and hold it for about a half a second. So it's basically just touch it. So we're just going to touch it, and you heard the remote. It goes bleep, and then you heard the alarm on the horn here. So that tells you it's locked. It also tells you up here on the LCD that it is locked, and we'll show you that here in a second. For demonstration purposes, we're just going to do a wide shot so that you can kind of see what's going on, and then we'll actually show you how to operate these things in a more compact, so you can actually see what's going on. So to unlock the vehicle, we're just going to press the same, or the button right next to it, underneath it, the unlock key, and it's going to be the same type of press and hold, which is just for a second, So, and you can hear that it says bleep, 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 bleep. That's telling you audibly with your ears that your vehicle is doing what you want. And when you look on the screen, it tells you too that you see the little unlock there. Now, if this vehicle had a trunk here, which this one doesn't, you could open it by using the third button. If you press and hold it for about 3 seconds, you press and hold, and you can tell that the remote is functioning and is saying that something's happening, and it actually blinks and shows me that there is a trunk opening. It has no function here on this vehicle, but something did work, so you can actually see the demonstration still working. The last button is the fun button. That is the start and stop button of your vehicle. Now, what we're going to do, all the rest of these buttons, the first two buttons were just a press and release. The second button was a hold for a couple of seconds. The third button, basically you just want to hold the button down until the remote starts beeping at you. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually push this key button, and we're just going to press and hold it. So it's beeping, tells me that it's getting ready to start. If you can hear it in the background, the truck is starting. So it's really easy to use. And here in a second, that tells you that it is locked. Now, the other good thing about this is that this remote will actually give you a countdown timer of where this vehicle is set up to the default. The default is normally about 15 minutes that this vehicle will run. This one is actually set up for 25 minutes. So you can actually you can have it set for different time frames. If you only want to start it for 5 minutes, if you want to start it for an hour, I don't know if it does an hour, but at least we know that it'll do 15 minutes and 5 minutes and 3 minutes, 10 minutes, and I believe 25 minutes is the maximum. So it can run for an awful long time. So if it's hot outside, you want to make sure that the air conditioner turns on, just leave your air conditioner on and remote start it. That way you get into a nice cool vehicle. You don't have to worry about sweating. You don't have to worry about melting as soon as you touch the steering wheel. If it's warm, if it's cold outside, excuse me, if it's the middle of the winter, which you know, it's September now, and we're not going to talk about that S word, that snow or ice word, but just leave your heat on. That way you get in and it's nice and warm. You don't have to worry about freezing, trying to scrape all the icicles off your nose and your glasses and stuff. Now, let's say that you decide that, you know, you're not going anywhere anytime soon, you really don't want to waste the gas, you don't want to use up all of your gasoline, and you just want to stop the vehicle. We're going to use the same button down here on the bottom, the one that you use to start the vehicle. We're going to press and hold that button until the remote beeps at you. So you heard the beeping. The honking is telling you that it is off and it is locked. And then, you know, that's how it goes. So, you know, we're going to give you a little bit closer look at how to operate these things. All right, so this here is the remote. It's the CompuStar two-way remote system that we use. And you can see here that we have a clock right down here that tells you the actual time. We have a car here in the center, and that's just signifying your vehicle. It's not necessarily your make and model or anything. And you can see up here that we have a signal bar that's just like your cell phone. That's just telling you have good range right now, that you're in good range. It'll get lower and lower as the time goes on. If you get away out of that mile range or too far close. Right underneath that is going to be your indication as whether or not it's locked or unlocked. Right now it's unlocked. And then you have, right down here, you have your battery. That's your battery for this remote, not necessarily for your vehicle. Now, this remote here will actually flash and beep at you whenever things have been done. I'm going to turn this over and show you these buttons again. These are the buttons we were talking about. You have your lock button, your unlock button, your trunk, and then your start button. Looks like a little key. So let's go over and push these buttons here and let you listen to the vehicle at the same time and show you what's going on before I turn it around and tell you what's going on here. So to lock the vehicle, we're just going to press this button here and let it go. And you heard the beep, and then you heard the horn honk. So now if you look here, you can see that the LCD is showing you the same thing, except for this time it's showing a locked symbol. That means your vehicle is locked. Now to unlock the vehicle, what we're going to do is we're going to press and release this unlock button. So we press and release. And I don't know if you could hear it or not because of the wind, but it said beep beep, and then there was a clunk with the vehicle, and now you can see here that it is unlocked. So now to operate the trunk, if you were to have a trunk installed on your vehicle and you wanted to open it to put groceries in, you just press and hold this button here, the one that looks like a little car with the trunk open, and press and hold it for a couple seconds. So we're just going to press and hold. And you can see here that it's telling you that it's unlocked, and you can see back there on the back, it has a little flashing trunk that says it's open. Now the truck doesn't have a trunk, so it didn't really do anything, but it still, for demonstration purposes, showed you what happened. Now to start the vehicle, we're going to use this bottom button right here. That's to start it. We're going to press and hold it until the remote makes a noise. So we're going to press and hold. So you can look here, it's unlocked. The vehicle is getting ready to start. Now it's starting. And if you look right back here, once the actual vehicle starts kicking in, you can see these little looks like the car is expelling gas right there, or exhaust. That's just showing that it is it started. You can see there that it's counting down again. That 25-minute countdown has started. We've already had it. It's already been on for about 10 seconds or so. So, you know, you want to wait a couple of minutes here. We're gonna not a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds here. We're gonna wait and then turn this thing off again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it off. We're just gonna use the same button as you used to start it. We're gonna press and release, or press and hold until we hear the audible on the remote. And you can tell that the remote has done its job because it went back to, there's no little lines here and it blinking at you, and you can hear the truck behind us talking to us. Now, there is a few advanced features on this remote, and there is one that I would like to show you just because this one is kind of important. Let's say it's really hot outside and you really don't want to get in your vehicle. You don't know if you want to start it and waste the gas or anything, but you definitely want to make sure that it's not too stinking hot. If you see that start stop button right there on top, you know, that key one there, we can actually press that button and give you an in the dash temperature reading. So what we're going to do is we're just going to press it once, press and release. You can see it says it's 66 degrees inside the vehicle, and then that goes away. So that again, we're just going to press and release just like we do for the lock and unlock. And you can hear it's telling you, it's beeping, it's giving you that. So that's the advanced function that is really helpful. Now if you need to see if your vehicle has enough juice to start, that can also be done by just pressing and releasing this button twice. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that right now. So we're going to press and release. 12.5 volts. So it's a quick little, it's kind of like if you're tapping your mouse on your computer, you want to double tap it there. So we've showed you the basic features and a couple of simple advanced features with this remote. We've showed you how to start, stop it, unlock it, lock it, use your trunk button, showed you how to press this key button one time and release it to give you the temperature of the in-dash in your vehicle temperature, and also if you press it twice without actually starting the vehicle, it'll actually give you your battery voltage to know whether or not if it's cold outside and you got to make sure that it's going to start for you. You don't want to get stranded somewhere. Something I will mention here that both the one-way and the two-way systems do have an anti-grind set up on the actual vehicle. So what it does is when you start the vehicle, you hop in it, you throw the key inside, and maybe you forgot that you started it. Instead of cranking it over it again, it's just going to give you a little, there's not going to be anything. It's going to stop the vehicle for a second. It's going to, basically you're not going to hear that starter grinding on the gears anymore. So that helps a lot to give you a little bit longer lasting vehicle. I wouldn't recommend doing it too many times because you never know how many things can actually fail, but it is a system here. So we've covered a lot of things. We've had the one-way already, we've had the two-way. The only remaining system that we do sell is a drone mobile, which actually uses a two-way system much like this here, but it uses your cell phone as a starter. We're going to cover that a little bit later just because it's a little bit more hands-on, it's a little bit more, it's a little cooler actually, and it's my favorite thing. But if you have any questions, we want to encourage you to rewatch this video or go to our website and read our how-to. There will actually be a how-to section if you don't want to watch the video, or your user manual is a really good idea and a tool to use. Or you can always give us a call at 701-857-9230. We're happy to answer any of your questions, and we'll help you out.